Thank you, Emily and Fee, for organizing the Fringe Festival this year. Hi guys, thank you for joining us. I'm Nisa and I'm here today to talk about my career change, how I moved from dentistry to the world of data. I will start by talking a little bit about myself, my background, then I will briefly explain my process of career change, and finally how my journey in data has been so far. So starting with the background and first contact with data. As I said before, I have background in dentistry. I studied my undergrad degree at Porto University in Portugal. It was here that, amongst academic traditions, amazing Porto wine and lots of coffee, of course, I had my first interaction with data. And it wasn't the happiest interaction of my college life, quite the opposite. We had to go through these massive books with a size 8 font and filled with all these dull charts crowded with data. Data back then was something I had to look at, to analyze it, just because I needed to know the insights for my exams. It wasn't appealing, it wasn't insightful many of the times, and yes, the majority of times I had to look at this type of charts or endless monotonic tables that just made me feel like I needed to pull my hair out. But then I finished my degree and I moved to the UK, where I practiced for several years. And it wasn't until the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, that by accident, well, by contact with my husband to be more honest, I was presented to Tableau. After using it and giving it a try, and seeing how intuitive and seamless it was to draw insights of my data, I started using Tableau as a hobby and also as part of my epidemiology model at university. This was the science that responds to questions such as who, where, and when. And Tableau did amazing in helping me answer this type of questions. I was amazed how easy it was to analyze my data, and also by the amazing community around this tool, how people will gladly spare their own time to help and teach others. My data curiosity then started to grow exponentially, to be honest, and this made me reassess my career and what I wanted to do from here on. Something that I always have been passionate about is the ability to help people. And now I had the opportunity not only to make a difference at the individual level, but also at a greater level. Obviously, when I start thinking about my career and a possible change of career, I was anxious and uncertain about my future. After all, I was questioning who I was professionally, what did define me at a professional level. I had several years of clinical practice and didn't want to make a bad decision, didn't want to put my future in danger. So that was one of the things that made me think and reassess very well what I wanted to do. But however, I wanted to have the possibility to have a new start, the acquisition of new skills, and all of that was so fascinating and appealing. At this stage, and as anyone that is thinking about changing careers after having already established career, I went through what I call an emotional state. So I started evaluating my economic stability. Would this be the most appropriate step on my life? Even being independent, I found myself thinking about what will be the reaction of my peers, people that I worked with, my family, my friends. I'll be losing my years of training. But then all that willingness to start again and to learn new things and acquire new skills made me want to take the next step forward. So if someone would now ask me, what would be your advice for someone as you, in your position a couple of months ago, would be, I will say, just remember, transitions are messy and they are slow. And amidst chaos lies opportunity. So it's when you let your boundaries go and you accept new risks. You have this time now to lift your head and from the path that you thought the professional you was heading to, because then you will see the new challenge that you have around you, and you can then reinvent yourself. In my case, I put into practice what I had studied and believed in. I decided to go what I call upstream, wanted to make a difference at a more global level. And in public health, we learn about the river of health. And the story goes like this. A man that was fishing in the river sees another man drowning. And what he does, he rushes to help that person. So he jumps into the river, rescues the man, gives him first aid, and saves him. So after a little while, he sees another person in the same situation, which he reacts the same way. So he jumps again to the river, brings that person out, saves the person. And this went through a long time. Every time he was coming out with a person that he just had saved from drowning, more and more people were falling in the river and needing help. After an hour or two, the man becomes tired and starts asking himself, why do I have to save so many people in this river? What is happening that I need to be the savior of the day? So he thinks about going upstream the river, and so he goes. And one of the things that he notices that one of the cliffs where people were using to admire the river, there wasn't any sign or any fence, and people were just falling down the cliff. So he decided to put a fence there and a sign just alerting people about the dangers. Obviously, he could not save everyone or prevent everyone to fall in the river, but the numbers of people falling down the cliff dropped substantially. And that was the lesson that I took from public health, and I wanted to use it in the data world. So for me, data and helping people making sense of their data is my upstream river. It's by making informative decisions supported by facts, by data, that strategical decisions can be made. And sometimes, depending on the area that we are working in, we can also save many lives. It's by addressing the root of the problem that we can make a difference. And that is, for me, what is so appealing in data visualization and Tableau. It's giving that power to people, the power of making informative decisions to make a change and to have that willingness to make the change. So when I came across this amazing team, I applied to the data school. And today I'm happy to say I'm part of the third data school cohort. It has been an amazing experience that allows me to learn so much at a daily rate. And after 3 weeks in the data school, I was so impressed with myself, because a person like me without any IT background, by the end of the third week, I was building Alteryx workflows and apps, and I was creating dashboards following the best practices, something that I wouldn't even dream of a year ago. Once again, if like me you are now thinking in taking the leap into the data world, remember, we have many transferable skills. And is that what makes us unique in the world of analysis and data visualization? For me, dentistry and health gave me the ability, or the understanding, the empathy, the ability to understand the client as I did understand the patient. My analytical skills, the ability of making sense of so much information. My educative approach. In the past, I was giving education about oral hygiene and about health. These days, I'm giving education about Tableau and best practice of data visualization, and sometimes even about health, the attention to detail, the communication, and the health and business knowledge. And it was this that made my approach to Tableau unique. I can use each of those points to become a better analyst and to create stronger data visualizations, transforming those skills or transferring that skills to my creations and acquiring my own visualization style. What were the positive aspects of such change, you may ask? Well, it is the learning new things every day. That is a big positive. And I'm part of this amazing team and community that is so selfless and is there every time you need them and all the way. And I can still help people myself. So all of that is a massive positive in my career change. If there were 4 things I could advise someone in the cusp of a career change, I would say it won't be easy, but it's doable. Just have a good support system around you, family, friends, people that understand you, and treat yourself as you treat others, because normally we are much more and forgiving, if we can say, about other people than we are with ourselves. So put yourself in the third person and think yourself, what would I say to me if I was someone else? So I will be much more positive, I'll be much more supportive. And don't give up, persevere, because in the end it will be worth it. And I know that this may seem a cliche, but it is the very truth. And if there was only one thing I would like you to take from my talk today, it will be, and quoting Maya Angelou, success is liking yourself, it's liking what you do, and liking how you do it. And there is where Tableau can help you do all of that and much more. Thank you. And if you need me, just drop me a message. I'm in the community too, and you can find my sweet link here. Thank you very much.